Today I deleted my LinkedIn account and my Tumblr account and my Snapchat account and my Flickr account. I just deleted them. Now I think a couple of these services, a couple of these platforms said, well, hey, you know, you've deleted your account, but some of that information is going to stay up for a few days. So if you do a search for me and you find something still posted on one of those platforms, don't call me a liar. It's just that it takes them a few days for them to actually just totally remove that stuff off of their site. So you might ask yourself, Ed, why are you deleting your accounts from these prestigious platforms? And basically, all I can tell you is that I'm trying to declutter. I'm trying to get rid of stuff, extraneous things that I don't really need or use that much, things that take up mind space, mind share. You know, I don't need all of this stuff out there that I have to keep track of or that I have to think about in any way. If I just get rid of them, then they're gone, and I'm just focused on the things that I do care about. Now, this kind of goes along with the minimalist philosophy that I've kind of adopted. Now, I'm not like a big devotee of minimalism, but I do believe that, you know, to make things simple, to pare things down, you know, I'm trying not to multitask as much as I used to. Definitely trying to do things using less time, money, and gear, less resources to accomplish things. So for me, the idea is if I've got less things to keep track of, less clutter, less things to tend to, I've got more time and energy and space in my brain to focus on the things that actually do matter to me. So applying this to photography, let's say that I'm doing a photo shoot and all I've got with me is my usual DSLR and a 50mm lens. Okay, that's all I've got with me. Then I'm going to have fewer options, right? Now, a lot of people might say, well, you're at a disadvantage if you don't have several lenses to work with, a couple of camera bodies, maybe different formats, you know, lots of lighting gear. You're at a disadvantage if you don't have all of these options, all of the features that are available these days. And to that, I'd say in certain circumstances that is absolutely true and it makes sense. You want to have more options. But that's not always the case, especially for me and the kind of photography that I like to do. Now, I'm not opposed to having lots of gear. I'm just saying I don't always want it available to me for everything I do, right? All right, think of it like this. Let's say that your photo equipment, that all your gear, your lenses and all of the, you know, the different gadgets that you use for photography, let's say that all that stuff is like fonts, is like a selection of fonts on your computer, all right? You've got all of these different fonts that you can work with to create a page of words, right? But see, I'm not interested in creating a page of words with my photography. I'm not just interested in creating that image. I'm interested in the story more than anything. I'm interested in conveying emotion. In a situation like that where I'm more interested in the story, I think a basic font would be the best way to go. Not lots of fonts, just one font, just straight up words on a page, right? That tells the story. That's where the focus is going to be when someone's looking at that page and reading the story. So it's the same with my pictures. I don't necessarily want to demonstrate, you know, what I can do with the craft, with the tools, with the different formats and the different, you know, ways to light something. Sometimes it's just about the emotion that I'm trying to convey, the story that I'm trying to tell, a mood or a feeling that I'm trying to get across. All right, so I'm working on this light approach to minimalism, to simplifying things, to decluttering, just to get things kind of focus in on the basics. And this is actually working for me. I'm not multitasking as much as I used to, so I've got more concentration and more focus on certain tasks at hand. So I'm more productive. And being more productive is something that can be really helpful, really useful for your art, for the work that you do with your photography or whatever art that you're into. Look, as a photographer, it's really easy to get caught up in all the gear and all the technique and all the, you know, all the craft work. It's easy to get caught up in it. It's easy to be distracted by it. So when you push all that stuff away, what you end up with is a simple idea. It's you and your camera and the things that you're trying to express. Anyway, take it or leave it. That's how I'm approaching things right now. Tell me how you're approaching these things. I mean, do you like having a lot of gear? Does that feeling of having all these options available to you for any given shoot, does that make you feel better? Does that make your work any better? Or do you think that doing it sort of the way that I'm doing it right now, do you think that that's more the way to go, whether you've actually used that approach or not? You know, yeah, with less options, there's this idea of being constrained, you know, like you don't have a lot to work with. You can't do everything with a 50mm lens that you might be able to do with a wide angle lens or a zoom lens that gives you the different options. A lot of people, myself included, think that those constraints are a catalyst for creativity, that they can sort of force you to work within a set of boundaries that pushes you beyond the options and the choices that you can get with different types of gear. So maybe these constraints would give you the opportunity to push beyond the types of pictures that you'd normally make. You'd literally be forced to do more with less. I don't know, I think that's a good thing. I think it's exciting. I'm excited for myself. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff that I don't need, and I'm just focusing in on the things that are important to me. Let me know what you think about this. And as always, I'm going to ask you to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe. Definitely leave your comments below. And that's about it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time.